Hello everyone, my name is Aleksei Platkovskii and I am community driver here in Palm, Turkey. And today I have an interesting topic for you about seniority staffing pyramid on the project. It's related not only to QA team, but as QA I can talk only about such kind of professionals and engineers on the project. And very often customers or product owners want only senior specialists on the project to be sure that everything will be done with enough quality. And we will see today are they right, or such approaches can be very harmful to the project and to the team. Let me share my screen. Okay, now you should see it. And let's go on. A couple of words about myself. I started to work in IT sphere in 2007. It means that now I have about 16 years of experience. I worked as a manual QA first 6 years of my career. After that, I also participated in performance testing about 3 years. I have experience in automation since 2014, and I'm community driver since 2020. And before we will start to talk about seniority pyramid on the project, let's have a short quiz. What do you think about how seniority pyramid should look like on the project? Let me find this button. Lynn, can you please run the quiz? Oh, I don't see it. Okay, thank you. Now you should see a short poll only with one question, ideal QA team. And you have a couple of seconds to answer. You can choose only one answer here. I don't see results of the poll. Lynn, do you have enough answers? We have 20 people here. Okay. And the most of us choose correct answer. They are all correct. Indeed, it depends on the situation, but in most cases, yes, the best approach to have only one lead, couple of mids, and couple of juniors. And let's discuss why it is so. Okay, and before I continue, I want to say that it's only my opinion. It's not a physical law that should work everywhere in any point of universe. And yes, I could be right or could be wrong. It depends on situation, but why do I think that I'm right in most situations? Because my presentation is based on 15 years of experience in IT sphere, and it means that for these 15 years I saw dozens of different projects, different type of projects, size of teams, and etc. etc. I have a lot of knowledge about the topic and I can talk about it. And last 4 years I work on key and lead positions, and it means that I was one of the persons who staffed people to the project, who combined them, who shared tasks and saw what is better practice and what is going wrong and how it can be fixed. And yes, we should remember that every case is unique, and when we talk about something like project activities, project management, we should remember that everything should be agile. Yes, any case unique, and you should think about your case before you decide something to do or not to do. Let's move. And let's imagine that we need to recruit or build our team from the scratch. It is a new project, and we are able to do everything that we want. Before we start to build our dream team, we should remember that we have a couple of goals on any project that we have. First of all, it is to achieve the main goal, to deliver product or deliver some website or etc. to our customer or product owner, and we should do it with estimated time to deliver. It means that we don't have a lot of time, definitely infinite time. We strict with it. It means that when we want to build our team, we should remember that we have some timelines to build it, to format it. And when I say timelines to build a team, it doesn't mean only to hire a couple of engineers to the team. It means also, especially for long and big projects, to retain people on the project, to build the team in such approach, in such formation that would allow you to escape a lot of staffing problems like burnout of people, their rotation from the project because they are tired from this project or something like that, or etc. It means that you have remember such questions, such points when you build your team. And we need to build our team with optimal number of participants, because sometimes people think that, example, 9 women couldn't make a baby in 1 month in any case, yes. And also, the bigger team you have, the bigger efforts you need to manage them, to distribute tasks, and to communicate, to spend a lot of time for different communications between different participants of the team, members, and etc. Sometimes a small team can handle more tasks and faster than big team. It depends. And if we remember all 3 points, let's see how the ideal team setup for QA especially should be. For example, for team about 5 or 6 automation QA, the typical staffing pyramid should look like this: 1 key or lead position, 3 mid QAs, and 1 or 2 juniors. And when I say mid, juniors, and key elite, I mean that senior also included in these positions, but it's sometimes senior, it is key or lead on the project. We have job titles and project titles. It depends. Let's keep it in mind that senior could be in key position or in mid position. It's just type of positions, not skill sets. Let's move on. Why we should have only 1 lead on the project? Yes, and lead, I mean not only a person who decides everything, but I talk about his skill sets also, because it is a rock star. You couldn't have a lot of rock stars on the project, because first of all, it is a person who is able to do some technical solutions, technical decisions, choose different tools, approaches, etc. And if you have a couple of people with the same experience, with the same skill set and the same role, it will be a little disaster for the project when they will debate any choose. For example, what is better, TestNG or JUnit for the project, or to get some already done framework from previous project, because both of them will have enough experience, enough background, to write a couple of different interesting or not interesting frameworks, but it is their babies, and they wanted to bring them to the project, and it will be disaster to communicate for these people, for these persons between them. Also, technical solutions should be presented to the customer, and you couldn't present two technical solutions and ask customer to choose what is the best for the project, because customer hire us for such things. He only wants to know how it will be fast or not too fast to implement something, and etc. But customer doesn't have, in most of cases, doesn't have enough experience to choose such things, and that's why only one specialist should be able to do technical solutions on the project. Also, lead on the project are capable of recruitment abilities. It means that he should build the team from the scratch or rotate people from the project or to the project. And also it should be only one person who has such activities, because one of the main responsibilities of the lead on the project to distribute tasks between different people. And this person should be 100% sure that specialist whom he give a task will be able to do it in a good quality and in the right timeline, yeah, without any gaps, without any problems. That's why in ideal world, only lead specialists should recruit people to the project. So we couldn't distribute this task recruitment between a couple of persons. And yeah, the final point why we should have only one lead specialist, it's task distribution, one of the main activities of the lead specialist on the project. Also, we couldn't have a couple of captains on the ship, yes, because when we have two persons who can order something, it can be a little disaster when some engineer get two orders with the same priority, for example, sub from two different people. And we should avoid such situations on the project. Yes, we should have only one specialist to avoid such problems. And before we start to talk about lead specialists, I want to remind you that it doesn't mean only grade of specialist meet. Yes, I include here also seniors with not enough leading skills, or who just pass this Rubicon between mid and senior specialist. It means that it is some kind of engineers with different kind of levels, experience from a couple of years till, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. All they are mid specialists. Don't look at their titles. And why we should have 3 persons from 5 of such grade? First of all, because it is main workers and distributors in any project, because our lead will be responsible for communication with customer, choosing different type of tools, creating framework, building pipelines, etc., etc. But all boring, most of boring tasks will be distributed to such persons, and we need a lot of them to maintain our backlog and to do everything in the time. We need more than one specialist of such level. On the other hand, they are not enough, how to say, they didn't work in the QA area a lot of years, and it means that they can be interested in different type of tasks, even they are boring for lead specialist, but as I said previously, 1 year experienced specialist, mid specialist, is also a QA engineer, and in most cases, they don't have any budget for such tasks. And also to avoid bus factor, it means that these people provide us most of capability from QA activities, test everything, automate everything, etc., etc. And more people we have on such positions, less bus factor can influence on our project. Bus factor, it's not something worse for our projects. I mean that someone can ill, someone can go to vacation, and in a huge project that lasts a couple of years, everyone goes to vacation from time to time. It's a normal situation. We should have enough workers to continue our delivery, even if someone from them missed from the project. And what can we provide to our meets to be able that they will be on the project a lot of time? Yes, to avoid fast rotation, very often rotation from the project. We should provide them interesting works and tasks for everyone. And 3 men on such position is enough to have such tasks for everyone for them. First of all, it is a new tech skills. Yes, they can learn something from each other because they are on the different level. It means that they not spend not enough time in QA sphere to learn everything. For example, we have different technical stacks: Java, Python, TypeScript, etc., etc. If mid specialist works in QA, SQA only a couple of years, in most cases he knows only one language or one technical stack. For example, he learned TestNG but didn't learn QUnit, and our project contains QUnit. It's a good possibility for him or for her to learn something new on such project. Second, it is to be mentor for junior. If our specialist skilled enough and he knows most of technical things on the project, he will be able to develop himself as a mentor for someone. It's also very interesting opportunity, very interesting activity for some kind of people who, especially if such an engineer wants to develop himself in mentor direction or management direction. Yes, it develops soft skills, because to be mentor is very hard tasks. Yes, you should actively communicate with someone. You should be able to explain complex things with simple words, and it develops yourself as a future manager. And also, it's a good opportunity to be one of the persons whom lead or key specialist can transfer his knowledge. Yeah, because our lead also wants to go to vacation or can get ill, and it means that one of these mid specialists should be his co-head. And yes, it's also some kind of activities that can be interesting for one of such persons. Okay, let's move to our juniors. We have 1 or 2 juniors on our project, and what we can provide interesting for them. I think that everything for juniors will be interesting, especially if it is their first project. Yes. But in special 2 points that can be very attractive for me specialists, junior specialists on our project. Tech skill. Yes, everything is new for them. Everything is very interesting, and they are capable of different opportunities to learn a lot of different new stuff for them. And it is also a good perspective to get personal mentor for fast growing and to be sure that things that they are learning, our juniors, are useful and that they are learned in a proper way. Yes. And finally, what can we say? If we build our dream team, we should remember about a couple of things. First of all, we should choose carefully and wisely, because sometimes it depends on task set on our project. For example, if we have a lot of very easy and, let's say, boring tasks on the project, we couldn't hire skilled enough professionals because they will be burned out very fast, and they will, I know 100%, they will leave our project very, very fast. I saw a person who just worked on the project only 3 days, and after that he said that it's too easy for me, I couldn't learn anything new on this project, bye-bye, I go away. But on the other hand, if we have a lot of hard tasks to work with some very specialized tool set or technologies, we couldn't hire a lot of low-grade professionals with not enough experience, and yeah, the composition of our team will be dependent on task set. But in most cases, we have plus minus the same task level on any project. You should create from the scratch or continue to develop a framework for automation and create dozens and hundreds or sometimes thousands of just tests. Titles mean nothing, skills is everything. It means that if you need a specialist with very restricted and not popular skill set, very rare language, right, programming language, or some very specialized tool that are used only 1% projects on only. You can hire such person and don't look on his title. Yes, skills. The only skills is what we should provide to our customer, not titles. And to consider the interests of everyone, not just the customer. Yes, as I said previously, most of customers think, or product owners think, that only senior people could deliver product in the time with enough quality, proper functionalities, etc., because they don't have enough experience, and they are afraid that team with juniors and mid specialists can fail. Yeah, they think that the person with 1 or 2 years or even 0 years in IT sphere couldn't provide enough efforts, quality, and etc. But most of cases show us that it is not the truth, and in most situations we have enough time to help people to develop their skills, to rise their skills. And in my experience, a person with good motivation but not enough experience is better than a person with 100% experience that are fetched with our project but without motivation. Yes, and junior and mid specialists specialized, it is most motivated people that I saw in my career, and that's why I think that we should have enough such people on the project. And that's all. If you have any questions, let's discuss them. I can remind you that you can unmute if you have any questions, or you can write down them in the chat. Ivan Protasov, what is standing behind your personal experience, could you provide a framework for evaluating optimal team composition like the Ringelmann effect? Good question, Ivan. Thank you. No, I couldn't provide any framework for evaluating optimal team because, as I said previously, it depends on the project. Even after you started your project, yeah, it can dramatically changed. Yes, for example, our technical documentation was about one number of functionality, one set of functionality, but after we started to develop, our customer or product owner can change his mind, and we can change dramatically the scope of the task. It means that the number of people, their qualification can be also changed even during the project. But in most cases, all the projects are very typical. Yes, they are very similar, especially if such projects last couple of years. Yeah, it means that when we started from our dream team, I didn't see any situation when this team in the same structure finished any project, because people learn something new from them, tired from the project after 1 or 2 years, and wanted to rotate from this project. Personal productivity decreases with a group increase. Yeah, in most cases, it's true that Ringelmann effect, it is about personal productivity decreases with a group increase. But in IT sphere, it is very complexity question, because sometimes, for example, even a couple of people couldn't do anything, because I saw a lot of situations when some tasks that can be done very fast, for example, delete an icon from bottom of our page. And one developer can say that it takes him only 3 hours to do this, and another developer from this team says that it takes about 3 days to delete it from the project. Yes, it's productivity. It is very personal thing. If the QA leads approach is and also with the dev leads approach and also with the delivery managers approach, who should win this fight? For example, how to build a work process correctly, how to deliver stories to testing QA, etc. I can say that only quality assurance engineers are capable of decisions about quality of the product. Yes, in most of the projects, customer and product owner and even delivery manager, if something fails, go to our QA lead, QA team. And in such situations, if QA lead and QA team couldn't manage approaches, couldn't be capable to choose what is better for the project, I think that delivery and product owner couldn't judge them for the quality. How to deliver stories to testing and UAT? It's a very complex question, but if we talk about in a few words, first of all, you should set up a correct pipeline in Jira. Yes, you need to contact Jira admin or get this rights for yourself. Sometimes it works better. And just create correct pipeline. No one story couldn't be moved to done or to close status without passing ready for testing, in testing, and only after these 2 steps we can close. Yes, it doesn't count such situations when developer just drop it down by himself from one status to another, but in history of such ticket, we can always see who changed the status of the story. Ready to start for testing, started testing, and done. And if it wasn't key engineering, we can discuss it on retro or something. It is one of the easiest and 100% should be done steps in any project. Build correct pipeline in Jira. After a couple of sprints, everyone remember a correct way how stories should pass through delivery process, and after that you can develop other points of such processes. Did I answer, Ekaterina, on your question?
Yes, thank you.
Great. If you have any more questions, you can just unmute.
Yeah, sure. Can I ask?
100%.
Okay, so 2 questions. First of all, I see the strange message on the slide that is sounds like you can find us.
Yeah,
probably something has missed. Okay, the tough question here. So your arguments for the well-balanced team are quite reasonable and understandable, but can you I'm not sure that it's a silver bullet. Can you provide any, if maybe you know the examples, then your proposed approach doesn't work perfectly when the well-balanced team is not a good option for particular case?
Yeah, thank you for a good question. Yes, it does. It's not a silver bullet, 100%. Depends on situation. For example, on one of our projects, we had a situation when we were need to deliver to our customer as much automated tests as possible till 1 month. Yes, it was competition with another vendor, and it means that we couldn't spend the time for mentoring, for we couldn't spend time to different type of activities for mid or junior specialists, yes, to, I forget this word in English, to bring them to the project. Yes, we need, in such situation, we just get 5 senior specialists with enough experience who build a framework from the scratch just in a couple of days, and after that they delivered a huge number of tests, more than 120 till the end of the month. Yes, in such situation you couldn't bring a junior specialist on the project because the value of his work will be not enough to spend the time for mentoring him. But if you don't have such competitions and such scripted and very short projects, I think that in most cases my approach should work.
Okay, thank you.
Project complexity and variety, we can build a mathematical model of team composition optimization. Yeah, but good point about some mathematical models. It's every time very interesting to read some theoretical things about processes, team building, etc., etc. But first of all, we should remember that we couldn't calculate everything. Yes, people are not functions; they are individuals. And second point, we have too much different things to be calculated, and even if we missed in one thing just in a couple of %, persons, it means that in our model everything can go very wrong. But to use such models about team composition like a Scratch, yes, just for fast looking what is better and what is not good for our project, yes, it can work. Okay, if we don't have any more questions, I think we can stop here. And I want to remind you that we also have a couple of web pages where you can find us. First of all, it is via community, Breaking Bar community. You can find here all our announcements and materials. Also, our YouTube channel that are 3 years old and contains dozens of different videos. And if you have any questions, ideas, or topics for discussion or meetups, you can email me on Aleksei Platkovskii ipam.com. And that's all I think for today. Thank you very much and see you next month.
Thank you, Aleksei.